Hello and welcome back to the round table with Marco.
Greetings, everyone.
And yeah, we are going back to the final trial, at least that's what the save file says.
The trial letter on the final day. So it is rather final. It's our final destination.
Oh yeah, that's what I did. I believe your time's up. Okay, good. Oh yeah, we questioned him. Very important details in that questioning, which we probably have forgotten due to the time in between those two episodes.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a while. But we shall see what happens. My time's up.
Sorry, Whiteo, but I'm having a lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we are to make in time for the early bird special.
But the cross-examination isn't finished yet.
Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now.
What? That is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
So, you're going to just run away after all this? Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now.
Well, I...
You think I had Lana dispose of the body? If so, then show your proof and get it over with.
I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor?
Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Sky dispose of his body?
Do I have any concrete proof?
Well, I think you don't?
I don't remember any, at least. We had this thing that implies that he at least was a part of
Yeah, but we
getting the body transported.
But we used that already, didn't we?
Yep.
I think we used it already in this thing.
Yeah, we used it already to prove that Gant at least may have done something to get the body transported away. Let's see, gonna consider these. Whoop. No. Not gonna watch that. See, that's not relevant. And this is not necessarily relevant now either. And this thing that we got from Sky must be relevant. Must get approval from the police department. I mean, does that count in that case? A lot of this evidence has been presented to the court by Gant and what was his name? The other police guy.
The other police guy? Goodman? No. Hey.
No, the really screamy one!
Oh, Mr. Officer Meekins, yes.
Yes. For now, if I'm wrong, I guess Edgeworth will object or something.
Let's hope for the best.
Yeah. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence.
See, Uji?
In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief.
What?
Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Wido. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Uji, I'll leave the rest to you.
I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency.
There he goes.
Lady Luck, Maybe we should have a word with her.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony.
A lady who knows the truth. Another witness.
In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony.
But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify.
There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions. Waste in this trial. Someone right at this very room.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person?
Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today.
Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist?
She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth... It's either Emma or Lana. I think it has to be Lana, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
The defendant, Miss Lana Sky?
She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task to dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders.
Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor.
Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in
Hold on! Or whoever that said.
Huh? Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat.
Listen good, Lana.
He's talking to Lana.
I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. White's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder.
This isn't good.
Of course, you'd never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. Alright then. I've got a lunch date to meet.
Toodaloo.
I can't. Is it the same voice still?
Certainly.
Okay.
Oh, okay. If there aren't any further objections...
Objection!
This court is now in recess.
Wait, but why wouldn't she be found guilty? Well, how can she even be found guilty for something that happened so many years ago?
Because... I don't know, because it's still active. It's still not... You know, this... I don't remember what they said at the beginning of the game. This whole rule about 3 days having a trial was only something that was introduced recently. So perhaps cases that happened before that law came to pass don't follow the same rules.
Yeah, and there's also this time that has to pass before the case gets put to rest forever, but I don't know which time it was. Was it 15 years?
Something like that.
Then it's not over. Looks like we managed to stay in the game.
Yeah, thanks to your help, Letchworth.
Oh, come on, hug me.
I'll hug you. The chief, he's safe in his pals.
Detective Gumshoe!
I'm not a detective anymore.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that.
Now, I am homeless and without a job. Thank you, guys. Really, really thank you. And don't worry, I've already decided where to work now. At your office.
My office?
Sure. I take the place of that top-nutty girl you used to work with.
That would be so great.
Could he mean Maya?
Oh, Gumshoe as a sidekick.
Yeah, dressed up as Maya.
Oh no! I bet there's fanfiction of it.
Oh dear.
Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. How is it he always gets the upper hand?
It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify.
Settle down, White. Remember what the judge said?
But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked.
Well,
There are certain risks to be considered.
risks. What did he mean by that?
It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. Oh, I think I know who it is. You mean he forfeits his right to say anything too? Oh, it's her! I thought it was Lana, but it's still Emma. Whatever, they sound the same anyway. Just younger.
Not... Well, not quite. Emma, are you okay?
Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. Was my Lana expression good? I've been listening to the
Very
trial
good.
from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Relieved?
Yeah. I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all just to protect me. Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her.
Where do you mean?
What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. Don't you realize what you do to me? To force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do.
That must be why she became so cold.
It was all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal. That's what I do.
Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery. But he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see.
Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act.
Emma, why don't you wait here?
No, I'm going with you. I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth. Let's go, White. It's time to end this.
And I walk in all in slow-mo to some really nice tunes.
I was about to say something similar. Oh, what was it? God damn it.
You're the best around. No one's gonna keep you down.
Oof.
Oof. Those are not the lyrics, man. Get it together.
No, I was thinking about certain tunes, but I mean, you probably My Hero Academia. You say one or something. It's time to end this, and then the tune comes in. Oh boy!
Yeah, it goes with everything,
Exactly.
including trials.
Yes, especially trials.
Now then. Will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, please take the stand?
Oh, I should actually put some of these in this clip thing that I haven't used for a while.
Clip thing?
Where I can just play sound bits with the press of a button.
Soundboard.
Ah, yes, that's what it's called. Miss Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years.
Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth.
Of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. You should have said something. Just say the truth and don't worry what happens to me.
Yeah. I mean, what if the twist is you're not actually related?
Oh boy.
Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant.
No, the real plot twist would be I am your mother.
Oh dear. Very young mother. Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant.
I mean, we had already in anime moms that are lowly size, so everything goes in anime.
It's Phoenix Wright. I think even this game would be like, objection! We need to actually cross-examine and check you for IDs or something like that.
What? Oh. Okay. I worked alongside Gan for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. Ah, Blana is such a fool. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
Are you sure about this testimony?
Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure. But Lana!
If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. White, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. Yeah, then you are the only one who can actually convince her.
But what if she's telling the truth?
The truth? She's not. I know my own sister.
And you're reading my mind again.
Whenever she speaks stiffly like that, she's hiding something inside of me. No way.
In other words, she has been doing it ever since we met her.
Deep down, she's really screaming in agony.
I got this smile, but on the inside, I'm crying.
Maybe smiling out the outside, but on the inside, I'm crying. Where did I hear that before? I heard that before.
It's a Joker line in the very first Batman movie.
Really? I heard it somewhere else in a parody or something. I think.
Yeah, no, that is what the Joker says when he's. Who was he? I'm completely blanking on the actor's name.
Oof.
Not the Heath Ledger one.
Still, I kind of want to know this. Wait, this I know I saw it somewhere.
Stop the presses.
On the inside, I'm crying.
We must find out. This is essential trivia.
Okay, I can't. I don't know. No, okay, I don't. No, I don't have anything.
Yeah, this is no time to start second guessing myself or to look up trivia on my phone. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
No, I actually looked it up on the PC. Why would I use my phone? My phone is slow as frick.
That's frigalicious. Let's see. Well, I'm just gonna keep on pressing her on everything for now. How many years exactly?
Ever since I made senior detective. Let's see, I was 24 then, so that would be 5 years.
Detective Gant and Detective Sky were legendary partners. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases. She must have been good coming from the same school as Mia.
Damon Gant was a respectable detective. That's why. There's...
Respectable.
Oh yeah.
There's what?
No, she wanted... I wanted to read that, but I already read that.
Okay. But think about it, Miss Sky. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail.
You still don't get it, do you, Mr. White? Any testimony you cannot present in court is as useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. I want a lie detector on that woman. And I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago, all by myself.
Hold it. All by myself.
All
Did you do so?
by myself. Oh boy.
Did you do so to help your sister?
Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life.
But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything.
That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. No.
So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago. And rearranged it. You say you did this all by yourself.
Yes! Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck in the victim's body.
What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident.
That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. White, but I'll never change this statement. For like 5 minutes. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies.
Oh, just to protect me.
So, when you found a scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to.
Yes.
That was a very detailed one.
Okay.
It at least seems to imply as there's something wrong with this one. Wait a minute. Fabricated evidence. There's no truth in this blackmail theory. All by herself. Is there any kind of evidence that would imply that it wasn't just her?
A book of the...
There's that thing.
Dark's knife and planted it inside the wound, then moved the body.
We don't have the tip in our evidence though. Single stab, wound piercing heart lung, died from blood loss in under 10 minutes. Found in wound was missing tip.
But have you actually questioned her and all?
Not everything, I'm just very suspicious about this one already. But let's keep going. You planted a tip of Dark's and then you moved the body?
But why? Why would you do that? You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders. Shoulders? Shoulder?
Shoulder.
yeah.
My head is so bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of the others.
Isn't it bad for me? What else? Okay, did you plant? Why did you plant the knife? Why did you move the body?
Why'd you gotta move the body, move the body? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body?
It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gann's desk. But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there? The reason for that is simple.
Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body.
The pieces of the jaw.
Shatter during the events? What? Why?
Pieces of the jaw, you mean?
Yes, that wretched jaw you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body. What? So, when you first found the body, the jaw was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jaw must have been broken during their struggle. Eh?
I see.
I was assuming that maybe the vase was thrown at them, and that made him.
That's not
Or-
right. I mean, why was the jaw a problem?
Yeah, that is also
A mystery.
What's the matter, Emma?
Apparently the jaw shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that.
There must be a contradiction here somewhere.
Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone.
Okay, last one. So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer?
How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. White? Emma didn't do it. Period. Oh,
Are you so desperate to hide that fact? You're willing to risk the death sentence?
she's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed for what happened. In any case, As a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Mr. White, my sister's lying!
Looks like she's determined to protect you to the end. She insists she fabricated evidence by herself.
There's no way she could have done it alone.
I've got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Alright. Broke off the tip.
I mean, they clearly said the jar is something. The question now is if you have to object to it has nothing to do with Emma or this part directly.
Pieces of the
Since
jar that
the
shattered
jar,
during
it only makes sense if she saw the words Emma written on the jar. Otherwise, if the jar was already shattered, how could she have known that Emma was already written on it?
So why was it written there? Like, or okay, so maybe she. So that would imply she both tried to wash it off and then shattered it, or try to shatter it and then try to wash off certain pieces? Or I'm unsure when Emma was written on it in that case. And by who?
I have the feeling she didn't even knew that it was written there. And she only knows it now because we talked about it.
Yet she says that the shattered pieces would threaten her plan. So... Okay, I'm gonna try to see if... Let's see, come on. Let me save here.
Wait, did you actually press her on that? That it threatens her plan?
Yes?
Yeah? What was it? What did she say there? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that was something.
See, let's see.
Since if we go on under the assumption that Damon Gant did it, and he hid part of this jar in his safe, that means he must have been on the crime scene first. So she couldn't have possibly known that Emma was written on it because the key piece of the jar was missing.
Quite possible.
Oh, okay, good.
Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered? If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony.
A contradiction in my testimony.
You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan."
That's right.
Do you have a problem with that? It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write this message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. That's just preposterous. Order, order!
Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. We may be missing something critical here.
Something critical?
Chief Prosecutor, it seems you are as in the dark as we are about the truth towards which we are headed. What? Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth.
Very well. The witness may now continue her testimony. Don't look at me like that. It makes me feel guilty. I can't make myself guilty.
I immediately noticed the blood traces on the jar. But it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood?
I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. She didn't think Doc was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Well, she clearly missed a few spots. Immediately noticed, but it was dark in the room, didn't have time to check it out. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened.
What do you mean?
If you really thought Doc killed the prosecutor marshal, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood.
What else could I have done in that situation? No. I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces.
And they were so large. But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office.
A detective is always prepared, Mr. White. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go.
For those emergencies.
Yeah, where you need to find weird stains. I never...
She's that kind of detective.
Everything's coming along. I never miss anything. I got every last piece. Nope, you didn't. Wait, why is my phone restarting?
I don't know. It's got a mind of its own. Well, the only thing that I can think of would... Whoop.
Fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. Objection!
I throw the vase at you again. Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of.
What?
We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's office.
Safe.
Safe.
In the chief's safe? But how?
I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was still blood on it.
But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them.
Yeah.
Yes. Which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you.
But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece?
I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective.
That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Can you believe that?
Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken.
Oh, that.
There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Doc downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he break the jaw?
The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years?
Like a fish.
Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that?
No!
What? The judge had a breakdown?
I forgot my dentures again. Oh no! Wait, I'm not the one on trial here.
Damon Gant arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jaw and purposefully hit one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called?
Fabrication of evidence?
But why would Chief Gant do that?
In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear?
What happened afterwards?
Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she thought Gant giggled ate.
Giggly goo.
Lending her his aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Doc, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief's puppet. Ow!
Yow!
No! I did it on my own!
That's why she's got that band-aid on.
He says stop trying to protect the chief! I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake! No, you didn't! It wasn't you, Emma! You didn't kill anyone! Don't believe anything Mr. White says! Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients.
Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client.
I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth.
What?
Wait a minute. Twist. Yes, I like to play Twister. What if
Twist those nips. No way.
we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap?
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright?
Lana may be right after all.
What do you mean, White? So you do tell foul lies then, Mr. White?
No, I twist these nips. Miss Skye, please testify once more.
But...
If evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie.
But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall.
Miss Skye, if you will.
I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there's a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth. Very well. I testify about what I really saw.
All right. The witness may testify once more for the final time, and this time, even though she's been on oath and lying all this time, I will simply ignore that because this time it's the truth.
Well, then again, they never said I will only say the truth and nothing but the truth with God's help. There is nothing like that at the beginning. So,
Well, he did say right now that she's under oath.
Did he? No, I thought
Yeah,
you
he
made
was
that
on-
up. That wasn't in the text, was it?
Yes, he literally said
Remember, Lana, you're under oath now.
Oh, okay.
something along those lines.
When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor's sword. Emma and Doug were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I waste all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent.
Unbelievable! The body was impaled on the armor's sword.
You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. White just this morning.
What? To me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
But I don't remember receiving a picture like that.
Lana must have known. See, Mr. White, she really does have faith in you. After calling you a foul liar.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth on this, on why they're giving me evidence at all.
Very well, Mr. Wright, please present this picture.
I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana.
Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right?
I seem to remember getting something from her then.
Let's check that evidence again.
Let's do it.
Must be a picture in there somewhere.
Well, let's see. Is this the picture?
Wait.
Exactly as she encountered it. Aha!
I mean, yeah, you have to open it somehow.
Wait, rotate, zoom in, there's no... Come on.
Oh. Or not? Oh, there we go. Oh!
Hey, there's a picture here.
Oh, how neat! Who looks at the last side of a page? Oh, oh my! This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything.
And I have to question why she even included that photo in the book to begin with.
Well, she couldn't give it Gumshoe the photo just like that, could she?
No, I mean, if she's still looking to make sure that Emma is innocent, then why is she continuing to feed us all this information? I mean...
Because deep down inside she wants to find out the truth. Deep down inside she doesn't want to die, but at the same time...
Ah, the paradox.
That piece cut out from his vest, could that be...
The cloth we found inside Chief Gant's safe. What's this?
Do you already notice something weird?
I've only noticed the fact that it was cut out, obviously.
Okay.
And it's your turn?
Oh, this is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whoever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer.
What? But those fingerprints... Uh-oh! They're yours, Emma!
Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. White? How do you turn your lips purple by it?
I don't know. Pursing them really, really hard.
No, puckering up doesn't work. Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. Dun-dun. Found which muscle. What?
You're not allowed to say anything anymore. Come on now, OG. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen.
Chief Gant.
What, now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. I'm afraid it's too late for that.
It's too late.
What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort.
This must be that risk we were talking about earlier.
Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Nah, so what? You think I'm worried? I'm not worried. Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? Put a stop. I think. Wait. I know. Officer and something. We need that.
Okay.
The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence.
Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence?
No, I don't. But someone does.
Someone?
So, what's your excuse, Whiteo? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt.
Is this true, Mr. Wright?
If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer.
Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now, and if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries.
Not the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? I'd better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall. I think we do need, because at the end of the day, let's see, just gonna check this first of all, so I'm not missing anything. I am not sure what about this would seem out of place aside from someone cut away a piece of the vest. He's missing his hat. Or wait, is there something with the window behind him? No, I don't think so. Also, is Mr. Vince still there?
Yes, I am, but I'm grinning away.
Yes, I thought for a second, is Discord bugging out?
No.
But I was suspecting something like this, where I'm like, don't you dare give me one of those choices where it either gives me a bad or a good ending.
Oh, wouldn't that be too obvious?
Too obvious. Check it. Nothing else about this that I can...
Yeah.
Just showing it to her now,
This
apparently.
is a handprint, right? I mean, we did it before. We just never told her whose fingerprint this is.
Alright. Yeah, someone left behind an oil stain on this fabric. Whoever it was, they must have had a really oily hand.
Mr. White, think about it scientifically.
Huh?
A more likely explanation is the person slipped and fell on a freshly waxed floor, getting wax all over their hand.
Well, that would account for this amount of oil, I guess. I don't see what's so scientific about it, though.
It happens, you know. I always slip on the floors at school after they are waxed.
Right? Ah, so it was the janitor.
The janitor, who happens to have the same fingerprints.
Yes. They planned for her to slip up. Well,
I mean,
I'm still...
yeah, there is something very important on that photo. I mean, that's...
I can't... Is it one of those things where I needed to memorize it while I was in the room looking around?
No, that you have all you need right now to figure it out.
Okay. Was stabbed in the back with the spear.
And blood
Even
all
though
over
it's-
his clothes.
Yes, it was pierced through the lung, so presumably he's coughing up that blood, yes. And some... Oh, wait. Presumably... Well, yeah, this just confirms what we've already talked about. Gant being there first, since it's been cut away before Lana was able to take this picture. I don't know what else to make of it. And as for comparing, I don't see anything obviously that stands out here. I think that at the end of the day, I still need to make sure all evidence is on the table in order to figure everything out. Yes, Your Honor, I do have further evidence.
Oh, right, the time's finally come to show it to them. Those prints have got to be the chief's.
Now then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered the prosecutor marshal.
This one!
There's a handprint on it. Clearly.
Yeah, I'm still simply considering if they're... Because Gant obviously wants us to show this, but it might be that we're supposed to show something else.
Or nothing at all.
Or nothing at all. No, I don't...
I mean, you have to show it now. You are past that thing.
Yes, but we're still considering whether or not there's another piece of evidence that would work. But I don't know. This is the only obvious thing.
I very subtly already gave you a hint, but...
Yeah, I have no clue.
But you definitely, to progress, you definitely have to show this.
This.
It's a piece of leather cloth.
Yes, it most likely was cut from the victim's vest, near his chest.
What's this? There's a big handprint on it. Surely it must have been left on the cloth by whoever shoved the victim into the sword.
What? Whose fingerprints are on this?
I'm sure Wido has checked, haven't you?
Well, whose are they?
They're Miss Guys, Miss Emma Skies.
What? They are mine? So I really did do it. See, I told you it was conclusive.
Well, it's not conclusive. But this was found in your safe. That means it's possible you forged it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any cloth in my safe. Do you really expect me to believe that?
But you were the one who were suggesting this.
Give it up, Mr. White. It's over. You shouldn't have presented that. By presenting that evidence, you tied Emma Sky to Neil Marshall's death.
No.
It appears we have our killer.
No! No! Everything hinged on that point.
Oh,
In the end... Okay.
in the end,
God damn it.
something. God damn it. No, bad
In the end,
ending. Game over. And we get to the conclusion next time. Where Marco doesn't screw it up.
Gosh darn it. I put my faith in the game and it betrayed me.
Yeah, the whole time the game said whenever there was something, you always... It actually conditioned you to say, yes, there is something, but only at this one point in the game that something bites you in the butt. Okay, but I hope you enjoyed this episode and stay tuned for more.
And leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell and all that, and tell everyone how horrible I am, apparently.